All right, we're going to start our practice off in a child's pose. So you can sit down on your heels and let yourself drape forward in the upper body. And as always, you can take your knees quite wide or quite narrow, depending on what feels nice. And come on down. We're just going to take a little time just to be right here. Allow your heart rate and your breath to really settle down and slow down here. Cultivating softness all over. Let the breath grow really, really big in the belly, big in the heart. And let the exhales be complete. Cleaning out your lungs. Allow your focus on the breath to really root you in this moment. Follow the path of the breath through your nose. In your throat. And hopefully after just a few moments of being still and listening to your breath, you feel some of the wonderful benefits of intentional breathing settling over you. A sense of groundedness with what is, and a sense of being present. Okay, in your child's pose, opening up more into the sides of your back, walk your hands out to one side. Take a big stretch. Drop that head and move your hips away from your hands. And use your nice breathing to expand the ribs. Okay, let's just switch that side. Come on over to the other side with your hands. Drop your head. Big stretch. And think of moving those hips away from the hands. All right, bring the hands back through center. We're pulling it up to hands and knees here. Come on through. We'll find a nice supported quadruped here. We want to spread the fingers nice and wide and use your tiger claw. So really do spread the fingers, grip the mat like you're trying to grab the floor. Okay, and I find this really helps, especially if you have sensitive wrists or elbows, any sensitivity in your upper body, your arms. Do your tiger claw shape and see if that helps take the pressure off the wrists, okay? So from your all fours, we're gonna tuck the toes. Just a teeny tiny challenge here to lift the knees and hover them off the mat and then set them right back down, okay? Nice and friendly little challenge. Go ahead and lift the knees and set them down. Keep breathing. Maybe you lift on the inhale and you set them down on the exhale. Just kind of waking up your upper body. Take 3 more. Waking up the lower body. 2 more. Last one. Nice. Once you're back down on hands and knees, we're gonna keep that left knee down and extend that right leg out nice and long, okay? If you spin on your left knee and point those left toes out to the left and drop that right foot to the floor, you could come up into a supported side plank, and then feel free to take time to fidget and adjust yourself. I'm gonna fidget myself back on the mat because I seem to have slipped off. Okay, so from your supported side plank, make sure your bottom arm and your bottom knee are directly under the shoulder and the hip, so you feel really strong and supported. And we can reach that right hand very, very far away from the right foot. And then a little shoulder mobility here. Reach the right arm all the way open in a big circle. You can scrape the floor with your fingertips and back around to reach away from the foot. Again, up, down, and out. Big shoulder mobility circles here. Let's take a few more. Maybe you just close your eyes here and just enjoy moving. How about 3 more? Big and slow. 2 more. 1 more. Can we reverse them and take it around the other direction? You should feel that shoulder warming up really nicely. Okay, last one here. Reach that hand away from that right foot. Now, a little tiny challenge here. Go ahead and lift the right leg up and just hold it in the air, working that outer hip. You can flex or point your toe. It's up to you, but do keep your leg long and strong. How about 1 more big breath here, holding up your leg. And then set that foot down, nice and slow. Roll it back to hands and knees. All the hands down, all the knees down. I'll get you off your hands for a bit. Okay, tuck your toes, lift the knees, walk your hands back to your feet. I'll hang here for a moment and just shake it off. Maybe grab your elbows and sway in your forward fold. Take some nice breathing. Okay, forward fold is great for so many reasons, but 2 that we're really taking advantage of here is that big stretch in the backs of the legs. So do bend your knees if it's too intense. No reason to push a stretch behind what's comfortable. Another big benefit we're getting is we're allowing that spine to really lengthen as it hangs. Okay. So from your forward fold, parallel your feet underneath you. Let's roll it up. Push down as you stack yourself up. Nice and tall. Okay, and we're gonna start to flow here, but we're gonna build our flow very slowly at first. So from your standing, drop into your little chair squat, okay? Feel your chair squat for just a few breaths here. Now remember, your tailbone points down. Your knees point out over your toes, and your neck remains long and proud here. 1 more breath in your squat. Maybe you drop a little lower. Okay, as you're ready, stand tall from your squat. Push the floor away, extend your knees, and lift that heart even higher and prouder. And with your exhale, we're gonna fold it all the way back down. Bend those knees. The hands come down. Walk it forward to hands and knees here. Let's do the other side, okay? So from your strong spread finger grip, we're gonna lift the knees and drop them. Just a handful of times, okay? Just on your own rhythm, lift and drop those knees. Just bringing in a little activation and awareness to the upper and the lower body here. Just a couple more. Okay, let the knees drop. We're gonna keep the right knee down and extend the left leg out long. Spin on the right knee, face over to the left, and start to build your supported side plank, okay? I'll spin around to face you, but we're in the same place. Make sure you are supported. You have your hand and your knee under you, okay? You feel strong. And then start to reach the left hand very far away from the left foot. And I like to ground into the outer edge of the left foot, the outer blade edge of the foot, almost like you're trying to lift your left arch. And it gives you a really nice stretch in your ankle. So try that out. And from here, we're going to make big shoulder circles with that left arm, up, down, and around. Okay, feel free to stretch your little fingers out here. Let your hand be active. Do some hand yoga. And remember that bottom hand is strong. So gripping with your tiger claw on the bottom hand is going to take the weight out of your wrist. Okay, reverse your big shoulder circles. Okay. As you're ready, pause in your shoulder circles. Okay, we're gonna lift that left leg high. Hold it in the air. Nice and parallel with the ground if you could. Working the outer hip, breathing here. Strong leg, strong arms. Nice, 3, 2, and 1. Come down with control. We're gonna spin it back to hands and knees, okay? And then just like before, tuck your toes, lift your knees and your hips, and walk your hands back to your feet. Let's take a little fold, a little shake it off here. Okay, we're a little warmer in the upper body. Maybe we want to take the hands behind and move them away. Okay. As you're ready, we're gonna roll it up again and we're gonna start to really flow from here. So roll yourself all the way up to standing, just like before. Stand up tall, stretch open your big heart, up, 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 up. See if you could keep it open as you drop down into your chair squat. Don't worry, just an exhale here, and then inhale straight back up into your standing. With your exhale, hinge at your hips and fold yourself all the way back to your forward fold. So fingers down, palms down would be great. Maybe you bend the knees because we are walking forward through a plank position that you could use your knees for or not. It is up to you, okay? So through your plank, go ahead and walk to your hands and fold. And this is where we really start to flow. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale into your chair squat. Inhale, stand. Exhale, fold. Inhale back through your plank. And exhale, hands walk back to your feet. Fold. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, chair squat. Inhale, stand tall. And exhale, fold. Again, inhale forward through your plank, knees up or knees down. Exhale to your hands, walk forward and fold. Inhale all the way. Exhale into your chair squat. Inhale, stand tall. And exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. Just like before. Exhale, hands walk back to feet. And fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, chair squat. Drop that tailbone, maybe even a little lower. Inhale, stand. And exhale, fold it. Inhale to your plank. One last time. Exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, chair squat. Inhale, stand. And exhale, fold it. Inhale back to your plank. Now this time with your exhale, you can drop your knees down or hover yourself all the way down. come down to the floor, okay? And we'll stay down for a little while. Okay, find your hands underneath your shoulders. I want to get into some cobras with you. So you can drop your forehead for now. I like to set the stage for a cobra, okay? So we want low back protection to make our cobra more safe and more fun. So think of lifting your belly muscles away from the floor here, as if to make a little space for a ladybug to walk under you. So make your ladybug path, okay, underneath your belly muscles. Strong tiger claw grip of your hands under your shoulders, and the elbows are squeezing in. We're ready, okay? With your inhale, pull your heart forward. It doesn't have to go very far to be effective, right? And exhale, drop it down. Again, inhale, heart pulls forward. Exhale, drop it down. Now I want to take a few like this with you, okay? So maybe just close your eyes and take a handful more at your own rhythm, feeling your back body very strong. Waking up all the tissue of your back. How about 3 more? Two more. Okay, here's the last one. Now let's see if we could hold this one. Come on up to a cobra that you can sustain. And let's breathe here. Think of the heart pulling forward. The elbows want to move back. Nice breathing. A lot of back strength here for you. Now, if you choose, you can add spice by lifting your palms and your legs, okay? You decide. Keep breathing though, no matter where you are. How about one more lovely back strength breath right here? And then let yourself float all the way down. Tuck your toes and let your hands grab the floor under your shoulders. We're gonna press it up to a downward facing dog, and I'll meet you there. Okay, now we're gonna take 5 or 6 breaths just here in our first downward dog, walking out the heels, or maybe you would like to take a child's pose break, and that would be nice too. You can drop down into your child's pose anytime. It's always a good time for a child's pose. But if down dog is all right for now, go ahead, just walk the heels out. Okay, feeling some nice stretch in the backs of the legs. Allowing the shoulders to open up at their own pace. Maybe there's some shoulder rolling here. Remember to go both directions if you do your shoulder rolls. Okay. Wherever you are, whether you're in your child's pose resting or you're in your downward facing dog, we're all going to meet in a downward facing dog and start to build a little flow. Okay, nice and strong in your arms and legs. Go ahead and lift that right leg high. Just feel it in the air, okay? Keeping the hips level for now. Nice breathing. If you needed to drop your left knee, you could always drop the left knee. But how about just one more big breath here, just feeling that leg in the sky. And then as you're ready, shift your heart forward, bend that right knee. Let's step the right foot outside the right hand. Let's drop the back knee here and find a nice little low lunge. Okay, in your low lunge, you may even come up on your fingertips to give your heart some extra clearance away from the floor. Okay, but find a nice moment, maybe untuck the back toe and start to push those legs into the floor very gently. Just the most gentle suggestion of a push down. Okay, and we can add a little twist in here. So once you feel strong in your legs, ground into that left hand, reach up with the right hand. And take a moment just to feel this twisted shape. Okay, your legs are still strong. Yes, pushing the floor with your 2 strong legs. You've added this beautiful rib twist all the way around your spine. So really visualize the rib cage revolving open. Nice breathing here. Now you can do this with the back knee down, or if you want to add spice, you can add a little more leg mobility and strength by lifting the back knee with the back toe tucked. So either one is good, but whichever one you've chosen for your lunge, just hold steady with your lunging shape. We're gonna reach up here, take a big breath in with that right hand reaching high. And with your exhale, reach that right arm under the left. Just reach as far as you can, as feels good. Big stretch for the legs, big stretch across your back. And then we'll reach up again. Big breath in. Big exhale, reach under. Again, up. Again, under. Nice. Let's do one more, okay? Up. One more under. From here, drop that right hand underneath your right shoulder. You can even drop the back knee if you like. We'll transition back to a three-leg dog. So however you want to get there, back knee up or down, we're going to send that right leg up in the sky. Just feel it up there for a beat or two. Bottom leg gets a nice stretch while the top leg is high. And then you could set that top foot down, downward facing dog. Okay, let's cleanse the palate with a little flowing. Inhaling here, find your plank. With or without your knees, of course. Okay. And exhale, walk to your hands and fold. Okay, we're gonna add in a few elements here. Should be familiar with your inhale. Roll your spine up halfway, like you're looking past the front of your space. Then exhale to fold. This time with your inhale, roll yourself all the way up. Lift your heart. Exhale down into a very nice low chair squat. Inhale, stand. And exhale, fold. Halfway up on your inhale. Big fold, exhale. Palms are down, inhale to your plank. Okay, bringing in our cobra shape with your exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, cobra shape. Pull that heart up and forward. And with your exhale, downward facing dog. Okay. Again, I'm going to give you 5 or 6 very long, very slow breaths here. So this could be a child's pose break for you, or it could be a down dog time, okay? Or anything else in between. Take some time here with me. Maybe just close your eyes down wherever you are. Feel your relationship with the earth here. Notice what parts of you are touching the earth or touching the floor. Okay, it may not be earth, it might be wood or yoga mat. But wherever you are contacting that ground, push away. And the more we push against the earth, the more the earth pushes back and supports us upward. And take in your last breath wherever you are. I like to give us times where we're moving, and I like to give us times where we're still. Okay. Come on up to your downward facing dog. If you're ready to keep going, we're gonna jump into the other side. So let's get the left leg high, 3-leg dog shape here. Notice when the leg is up, the bottom leg gets a great stretch. Okay. Just holding it, strong in the shoulders. Can always drop the right knee. But here, one more big breath, lift. And exhale, step to your lunge. Left foot forward, outside the left hand. Let's drop the back knee for now. Make it a low lunge. And fingertips are nice to give you a little extra clearance. And just give yourself time here. You have all the time in the world to let the hips sink low and start to push the floor with your 2 legs. Okay, once you feel settled into your lunge, drop into your right hand, okay? And maybe you add a little lift of the back knee. Who knows? We're gonna lift up the right hand, the left hand. So now we have this big twisting shape, okay? And first, feel the shape before we even start to move it around. Feel the long spine, feel the rib cage revolving around that central axis. And now we can move with a strong bottom hand. Okay, one more big breath here. And exhale, reach that left arm under the right. Reach, 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 reach. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist. Again, reach. Okay, maybe just close your eyes, lose yourself in the movement here. How about like 3 more? Okay, feels nice. Move. 2. Last one. And then we'll drop it back to 2 hands down. Come up through a 3-leg dog, left leg in the sky. Stretch it high just for a beat. Feel that stretch on the bottom leg. And then set it down, downward facing dog. Okay, we're gonna go through and put that same little vinyasa in that we did last time. So if you'd rather take a little child's pose break here, this would be a great time to do that. Or feel free to come along. So here we go. Inhale to your plank. And with your exhale, take a walk to your hands. Nice fold here. Halfway up on your inhale, think of pushing into your feet. Big fold on your exhale. All the way up on your inhale, roll your heart up and open. Chair squat on your exhale, nice and low. Inhale, stand. And exhale, hinge and fold. Okay, halfway up, inhale, push into those feet. Big fold on your exhale. Palms are down here. Inhale back to your plank. Knees are welcome. Okay, knees up or down. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, cobra heart pulls through. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, again, take a few breaths here. I'd like to say 5 or 6 long, slow breaths. Okay, I think that's the perfect amount of time. If you want to keep working in your downward facing dog and pushing the floor, by all means, do. If you want to take a child's pose break, do. Anything in between. This is your decompression time. About halfway through our practice today. So you might notice some effects of the work that you've done. You might notice some warmth in the legs and the arms. You might notice the heart rate is elevated. Okay, all signs of a good yoga practice. From your downward facing dog, whenever you are ready to jump back in. Here we go. With your inhale, we have the right leg up in the sky. We're gonna swing it nice and high. With your exhale, swing that right foot forward. Find your lunge again. Okay, same little low lunge we did last time. But this time, okay, after you find your strength in your lunge and your strong legs are pushing down, then lift yourself up. Come on up into your low lunge shape. Okay, all hands up here. We're gonna stretch open the whole front side. So you can make a little yoga gun and shoot sparkles up here. Make sure your shoulder blades move down your back and your heart is lifting up. And just breathe here. You can look wherever it feels natural. Okay, if you wanna look up, keep a little tuck in your chin so your neck is long. Nice breathing here. You could add some extra lower body spice by tucking the back toe and lifting the back knee. I like to really push off on that back toe in my lunges. Okay, wherever you are in your lunge shape, one more big breath, stretching your heart upward. And then we'll come down the way we came in, okay? Drop those hands underneath your shoulders. Inhaling here, find a 3-leg dog. Okay, just take 1 beat or 2 beats to stretch it high. And then exhale, set the foot down, downward facing dog. Okay, here comes that same little vinyasa. It should be pretty familiar. Feel free to skip it and take a child's pose. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling to your hands, fold. Halfway up on your inhale, push the floor. Big fold on your exhale. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale down into your squat. Inhale to stand tall. Exhale, hinge and fold. Halfway up, inhale. Really big fold on your exhale. Push the feet down into the floor. Palms are down. Inhale back to your plank. Exhale to the floor. Find your little cobra. Inhale, cobra heart, pulls forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, walk it out here. Finding whatever shape allows you to decompress. Okay, a few more breaths before we move into the other side. Adding that same low lunge shape on the left side. So in your downward facing dog shape, as you're ready, with your inhale, left leg shoots up into the sky. And with your exhale, step that left foot forward. Find your lunge. Okay, back knee comes down for now, maybe. Okay. Pushing that floor to find your stability. And then when you're ready, come on up. Reach up, grab your little yoga gun and shoot confetti up and maybe a little bit back to open up the front side of your shoulders and keep your neck long. Nice breathing here. Push the floor and lift your heart. Maybe that back knee just wants to come up. Okay, you can do that too. Use that back leg for power just as much as you use the front leg for power. Just let yourself be in this posture. You might even close your eyes and challenge your balance. Pretty fun, right? Really get that balance challenge going. One more breath here, please. Come down with control. Drop those hands under your shoulders. Coming out through our 3-leg dog shape. Here we go, up and out with that left leg. And then bring that top foot down to downward facing dog. One last time, we're gonna go through our little vinyasa. You know what to do. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling to your hands and fold. Halfway inhale. Big fold, exhale. All the way up, inhale. Open that heart, up, 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 up. Exhale to your chair squat, nice and low. Where's that chair? Inhale, stand. And exhale, fold. Halfway. And big fold. Back to your plank, big breath in. Exhale to the floor. Cobra heart. And downward facing dog. Okay. Welcome back to downward facing dog. From here, come down to hands and knees, okay? We can do a little wrist stretching here. I think wrist stretching is such a wonderful way to take care of our most used joints, okay, our little hands. So flip the palm up, the top of the hand is gonna be on the floor, the palm is up, the fingers are wiggling back at you, and you can roll around on the top of your hand here. I really recommend rolling and getting all the little parts, okay? And then you wanna flip it with palm down. And again, spread the fingers really, really wide and really roll up and down. Get all the little parts. Okay, just love wrist stretching. Bring it back to normal hands here. Let's bring the right knee forward, set it down between your hands. You find a little pigeon time. So we can scooch the left knee back. And I want you to take a considerable amount of time to make your pigeon shape really comfortable, okay? Sometimes scooting the foot closer to, or even sitting on your foot, this would be the right foot in this case, can make it a little more gentle, okay? And you can even put a pillow underneath your hips and sit on a pillow or a block. So don't feel like your hips have to come down. They really don't, but they do need to be level with the mat. So give them a visual check, give them a feel check. The hips are level. That's where we want to be in our pigeon, okay? And then when you have a nice pigeon that feels great, you've adjusted all the variables, then you're gonna roll out and recline your upper body and take some time just to be. So very important to keep the lower body active. It's very tempting to want to just relax the lower body, but keep it strong, keep pushing down. You want to open up in that right outer hip. Okay, that's where we're going to feel a lot of opening here. Okay, keep pushing that floor away from you with your active legs. When we stretch actively like this, we really maximize not only our time and our benefits, but we maximize just the regeneration of the tissues and allowing healthy range of motion in all the joints. Okay, so much better than when we stretch passively. Okay, it is hard to say goodbye to this pigeon shape, but as you're ready, start to slowly extract yourself. Have some friends on me here. Walk yourself up. Let's see if we could expand the right leg all the way back through a little hands and knee. Kind of like a three-legged dog. Okay, expand that right leg back, circle out the ankle, move all the little joints, and then maybe we even bend the knee and circle out the hip here. And remember to go both ways, of course. Okay, let's bring that right knee back down and switch sides. Okay, from your hands and knees, the left knee comes forward between your hands, and we can start setting things up from here. Okay, find the nice bend in your left knee, something that feels just right. Okay, find that the hips are level, everything just right. And when all of your details have been finalized in your pigeon posture, push the floor with your two strong legs and start to fold forward. So the hips are level. You have a nice flex in your left ankle. That's the forward leg. So keep the ankle really, really strong and flex. The toes are pulling back to the knee. Some folks like to stay up on their elbows here, and that's a nice option. Some folks like to come all the way down. It's really yogi's choice. Okay, breathing space into that left outer hip and low back. Okay, again, hard to say goodbye to pigeon pose. It'd be nice to stay here for a long time. But for our purposes, for now, come on up. Take your time. Let's expand this left leg out and back. We can keep the right knee down. Just expand that left leg out. Decompress all the joints. Circle out the ankle. And then the hip. Okay. Bring the left knee back down. Set your hips over to one side and swing your legs around. Time to get a little bit more stretchy. Give your legs a good shake out. Let's bend the right knee and pull it in. You can step that right foot very close to your hips and give your right thigh an extremely tight hug, like you're trying to squeeze the knee into your chest. Okay, we want to sit up really tall here, preparing for our twist. So when you feel as tall as you can be, start to look over your right shoulder. Maybe the right hand even comes behind you to kind of stabilize your twist. And we're breathing here, just looking behind. Now you could even use the left elbow hooked outside the right knee to make a very deep twist, but that might be too much. So you're gonna decide. But keep breathing. One more beautiful twisty breath. And then you can untwist yourself. Go ahead and knock that right knee to the floor and start to get really long and tall again in your spine. Like you wanted to just move your heart forward towards that left big toe. And what if the left big toe was also moving towards your heart? And we're just gonna walk the hands out just enough that we feel a little stretch in the back of the left leg, maybe the back of the spine, who knows? But let that heart continue moving toward that left big toe, no matter what. And keep breathing. If you wanted to drop your head, you could do that, but just keep your neck nice and long and the heart moving always forward. Okay, time to unfold. Take your time walking the hands back and then back and then back and then all the way back behind you. I just have a little mini challenge for you. Step your feet in front of you so that you're making this like crabby shape. And then go ahead and lift your hips up in your crabby shape. Okay, for a reverse plank, hold and breathe. Now you can walk your feet further away or further in. Okay, you decide. Further away will be a little bit more challenging, but I want you to keep your hips high and gaze forward over your knees for 3. For 2, push the floor with your strong arms and come on down. Okay, let's do the other side. Now we have the right leg extended. The left foot is gonna come in. Squeeze that knee towards you and sit up extra, extra tall. Nice breathing. So when we twist, we always pay special attention to the length of the spine, because if the spine is curved when we twist, it could be a little wonky, okay? So once you feel as long as you can be, take the left hand behind you, stabilize your twist, and maybe that right elbow hooks outside the left knee. But either way, you're looking over that left shoulder and you're breathing. Still sitting up extra tall here. Okay, so nice on that spine and back. I'm gonna twist it back through center here. Drop that left knee down and start to square off. Okay, looking out, kind of facing toward that right toe. It's as if your heart and your right toe plan to meet eventually. Okay, and I like to combine forward folds with a gentle kick down. Okay, a gentle push down on the floor. So feel free to continue to use your legs to push that floor. Just take some time folding here. Move that heart forward, forward. And here comes the toe to meet the heart. You might even drop your head here. Should be really feeling cooled down and slowed down here. Okay, when you are ready to unfold yourself, come back up, take your time. Again, drop your hands behind you. Let's try another reverse plank. So step the feet on the mat, crabby shape. Now we lift the hips and we find where we'd like to step the feet. Where's the appropriate challenge for today? Push the floor no matter what. Lift the hips, gaze out over your knees. We're gonna hold here for 3. For 2. Come on down. 1. Okay, try this. Reach out once you land with your hips. Strong belly muscles, reach out towards your feet and roll yourself down in slow motion. I seem to have traveled off of my mat. Keep rolling. Okay, once you land, you can take your hands down beside you by your hips. We're gonna get those legs up in the air, okay? One more very tiny, friendly challenge before we twist and rest. Okay, strong legs are plugged into your core, okay? From your core strength, lower your strong, strong legs to the ground in extreme slow motion, okay? It is challenging and you can bend your knees if you need to, but go slowly and keep breathing. When your feet land, let them rest there for a moment, okay? We're gonna take a little gentle twist here. You can take cactus arms. Bring your right knee up and over to the left. You're gonna look to the right and just breathe here. Big inhales, puffing open your chest. Big exhales, cleaning out your lungs. Okay, bring that right leg through, and we'll switch. Left knee comes up, left knee comes over to the right, and we look to the left. Nice breathing here. It's very sunny on my deck today. I'm not used to that. Okay, bring that left leg back through. Extend that left leg. You can extend your arms here. It is time for Shavasana. It's time to rest. So really any resting pose that seems just right. Take some time here just to be. And this is the best part of the practice when there's no longer any work to do. We've done everything. Now we get to just be still and let all of that movement assimilate into long-term memory. Even the breath becomes very effortless. So allow yourself to just breathe freely without controlling the rhythm or the depth. As if you're sleeping very, very deeply and peacefully. And let yourself rest in this moment and all the details of this exact moment as it unfolds. And please let your resting time last as long as you can take to rest. The longer, the better. This is where I'll leave you for our practice today. And thanks so much for practicing with me, and I'll see you next time.